I manifest $30,000 every month with Joe Dispenza's meditations, and there are 7 laws that I follow every day. And that's why in today's video I reveal my 7 laws of manifesting with Joe Dispenza's meditations, how to create mental movies that are so powerful that large sums of money inevitably flow to you, exactly when and how I meditate, and what I always do after every meditation. Ignoring the first law that I'm about to share with you keeps thousands of people who are meditating and manifesting on a regular basis stuck in realities that they want to break free from. I mean, just imagine the following scenario. Imagine you want to order a smartphone from Amazon, and you then write an email to Amazon, please send me the smartphone, without saying which brand, which model, which color. And that's exactly what so many people do. And this leads to, as the universe calls it, confusion of the highest order. In his book, You're the Placebo, Joe Dispenza mentions that when we focus our attention on a clear intention, then the inner environment becomes more real than the outer environment. And this process is exactly what then creates the environment that we desire. And Joe Dispenza mentioned a clear intention, not a vague intention. The reason why so many people fail at manifesting the abundance they truly desire is because they don't give the universe clear instructions. If you send the intention into the field, I make more money, that's just like when you want to order a smartphone on Amazon without specifying the color, the brand, the model. It might lead the universe to react like this. Okay, so this month you will get so abundant you can make it rain. Here's a few cents for you. And this leads us directly to the first law. Define your crystal clear intention that creates a mental movie. That's why I invite you to follow the exact same 3 action steps that allow me to manifest $30,000 a month on a consistent basis by doing Joe Dispenza's meditations every day. Action step 1. Create your intention that you focus on during the meditation. And here are some practical examples for crystal clear intentions. I make $30,000 a month. I have a net worth of $1 million. I spend a week in the Grand Hyatt in Berlin. These are clear intentions, and they can build the foundation for the mental movies with which you then send this intention into the field. Action step 2. Create different images of your future and test them for emotional impact. In his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Joe Dispenza invites us to not only focus on the intention itself, but to also include events, places, and people in the images we create. And here are some examples. You see yourself celebrating your first $30,000 month with your partner or friends. You see yourself buying your dream Rolex as a reward for having achieved $1 million. You fully immerse yourself into the experience of staying at the Grand Hyatt Hotel by enjoying the buffet and the spa in your imaginal act. Action step 3. Create a mental movie from the most emotionally impactful images. Now you can create 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 movie scenes with the images that you defined in step number 2. So make it Hollywood worthy. Add sound, taste, touch, smell, and turn it into a full sensory experience. Now, what if I told you that the 60 seconds after a Joe Dispenza meditation might be more powerful than the 60 minutes of the Joe Dispenza meditation? In his book, You're the Placebo, Joe Dispenza invites us to not just rehearse our intention, but to also add elevated emotions in the rehearsal process. The clear intention is just sending the signal out into the field. In order to draw the experience back into your physical reality, the elevated emotion is necessary. The intention and the emotion work together in perfect harmony to create a process of sending out and drawing back, which then leads to the materialization of your manifestation. So yes, it's totally okay to do this in a Joe Dispenza meditation. Freedom, freedom, joy. It feels so good. So without the elevated emotion, the clear intention here feels incredibly lonely. And it feels so lonely that it doesn't have the strength to carry your desire into your physical reality. And this leads us directly to the second law. Feel the elevated emotions during and after the meditation. That's when the field, as Joe Dispenza describes it in his book Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, responds to us in ways that make us feel awe and wonder. And I now want to share the exact action steps with you that allowed me to feel the elevated emotions so intensely that it was just a matter of time until I was able to achieve a consistent monthly income of $30,000. Action step 1. Define the specific emotions you want to feel during the meditation. So be specific. Don't just say, dude, I want to feel better. Here are some of the emotions that I was and still am reaching for when I do Joe Dispenza's meditations. Freedom, gratitude, a love for life, joy, happiness, exhilaration. Action step 2. Feel the emotions while you place your awareness on your heart. I've been to 3 Joe Dispenza week-long advanced retreats, and I can confidently say that I got really good at opening my heart, tuning into my heart and connecting with my heart. And we're going to practice this as well in week number 4 of my 8-week one-on-one coaching program, the Abundance Reality Shift Coaching Program. And yes, connecting with your heart and tuning in with your heart is incredibly important. And that's why I invite you to place your awareness on your heart while you feel the emotions you have defined. That's how you truly feel the emotions instead of thinking about them logically. You cannot feel an emotion in your brain. You can only feel it in your heart. Action step 3. Linger in the feeling of gratitude after the meditation. That's why the 60 seconds after a Joe Dispenza meditation might be more powerful than the meditation itself. Because when I think about all the amazing direct downloads, ideas and signs that I received while I was blissfully laying on the couch after a Joe Dispenza meditation, it truly blows my mind. And now I'm curious. What signs and synchronicities and ideas have you received directly from the field? Let me know in the comments below. I promise that I will reply to your comment. The next law I'm about to share with you is way too important to avoid, but so many people try to avoid it as much as Shaquille O'Neal used to avoid free throws. And in case you have no idea what I just talked about because you're not a basketball fan, let me say it in the following words. Most people try to take the easy way out. They want to do their meditation and then move on with their life. They avoid the one step that would make all the difference. This step requires discipline, dedication, and determination. And of course, I'm talking about winning a burping contest. What? Nah, just kidding. I'm talking about the becoming process. Because in his book, You're the Placebo, Joe Dispenza shared with us that the old personality has to die in order to close the gap between the old self and the new self. And this leads us directly to law number 3. Become the abundant version of you in order to generate abundance. And most people are not willing to do what is necessary to do in order to close this gap, because it's way too uncomfortable. And I always like to use this metaphor of a drunk uncle who's living rent-free in your house or apartment. And when you want to kick that uncle out, the old self, then of course the uncle does this. I'm not going anywhere. You think you can kick me out that easily, huh? No, I'll stay here. In his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Joe Dispenza reminds us that the key to creating from the quantum field is to jump directly from thinking about the new self to becoming the new self. And now I want to share exactly how I made this jump. Action step 1, think like the abundant self. Would your abundant self think in the realm of problems or opportunities? Would your abundant self think that you are a loser or destined to be successful? Would your abundant self think about what could go wrong or about all the ways it could work out? You already know the answers, so make sure that you install new thoughts in your mind, and remember, every thought that you think unconsciously is affirming a certain state. In the same way, every affirmation that you install in your mind consciously is a new thought that your conscious and then your subconscious mind can embrace. Action step 2, move through life like the abundant self. Your abundant self walks with big steps and your head held high. Your abundant self shakes the hands of people with confidence. Your abundant self is not afraid to be seen because you want customers, clients, potential employers, and business partners to see you. Every time you move like the abundant self, your body signals to your mind that you are already this version of you. Action step 3, make the choices and decisions that the abundant self would make. Your abundant self orders the item on the menu that you desire, not the one that is the cheapest. Your abundant self trades gossiping for strategizing. Your abundant self is generous because true abundance doesn't know any lack. And in week number 3 of my Abundance Reality Shift coaching program, we're going to create your new abundant self, and you learn how to embody it fully and completely with powerful method acting techniques. So check out the first link in the description. One thing that separates the most powerful manifestors from those who can barely manifest a Netflix subscription is the undying love for something that our human DNA absolutely hates. And that's why I now want to introduce you to Steve the Stone Age Man. There is one thing you must know about Steve, and that's that he's absolutely terrified of everything that is unknown to him, because everything in the unknown could potentially kill him. I mean, just imagine if he would think that a snake is the perfect pet. Oh, Tootsie Tootsie, you're so cute. Thankfully, our friend Steve had a really high sperm count before his accident with the snake, which led to him having so many offsprings, and yes, you are one of them. And that's why, until this day, your DNA is programmed to be afraid of the unknown. But then you remember what Joe Dispenza always says. Feel it in your heart and your brain. No, not this. I'm talking about what he describes in his book, Becoming Supernatural. And that's that when we continue to focus on the known, then we only create the same experiences for us again and again. But by focusing on the unknown, we create different experiences, new experiences. And yes, this angry fella is the known because you no longer want to focus on it all the time. And this smiling little fella is the unknown, which is not dangerous at all. And you should focus on the unknown, at least if this is your reality. Your bills are piling up, your job doesn't pay enough, you've never started the business that you want to start, you've started a business, but it's struggling. And this leads us directly to law number 4. Fall in love with the unknown, the void and space. And here's exactly how I, as an analytical and hypochondriac German, was able to accomplish this goal. Action step 1. Remember that the unknown is a friendly and not a scary place. In his book, Becoming Supernatural, Joe Dispenza describes that the unknown is a field of infinite possibilities. It's not a field of infinite torture and endless Justin Bieber songs. I would never do that. Remind yourself before every meditation how loving, how beautiful and how wonderful the unknown is. This will make it so much easier for you to immerse yourself in it. Action step 2. Make immersing yourself into the unknown your new hobby. In his book, You Are the Placebo, Joe Dispenza encourages us to find the sweet spot of the present moment when we go into this field of infinite possibilities. And this requires 3 things: practice, practice, and practice. Action step 3. Don't skip the space part when you do Joe Dispenza's meditations. And yes, I know how sick and tired you are of this. Feel the space and the space around the space in space. Don't skip this part. I know how tempting it is. I've talked to people at the week-long advanced retreats I went to, and some of them admitted that they always like to skip this part, but that's the secret sauce that allows you to let go, to surrender, and to fully immerse yourself in the present moment. And the universe rewards those who are able to do that. People can agree to disagree on many things. Is a tomahawk steak actually worth it, even though it's just a ribeye with a bone? Is the new version of the Naked Gun movie with Liam Neeson better than the old version with Leslie Nielsen? How dare you even think that? But there is one thing that I'm confident you will agree with me on, and that's that the morning hours are the most powerful time of the day in order to immerse yourself in a deep meditation. Or as we Germans like to say, the morning hours have gold in the mouth. And here's why meditating in the morning is so powerful. And yes, maybe you even want to do Joe Dispenza's morning meditation. The moment you wake up offers you the first opportunity to change your state. See your future and feel your future before the negative pictures and emotions of the past begin to infect your mind and heart. Prime yourself for the day before your past does that for you. And of course, you can also use one or many of the more than 60 guided meditations and hypnosis files for manifesting love, health, and wealth that you receive as a free bonus, as one of many free bonuses for investing in my audio program, the 11 Days to Manifestation Mastery program. And it's the second link in the description. And this leads us directly now to law number 5. The morning is the most powerful time of the day for conscious creators. In his book, Becoming Supernatural, Joe Dispenza actually shares with us that most people are living lives on repeat and they experience the same day over and over again. And in his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Joe Dispenza reminds us that in the morning, when we wake up, our mind immediately forces us to go into the same familiar stream of consciousness. And that's exactly why I followed 3 simple action steps in the morning that allowed me to reach the frequency of abundance so intensely that an income of $30,000 a month is normal for me. Action step 1, start your morning with the Joe Dispenza meditation on airplane mode. Now you might be asking yourself, why airplane mode? Okay, I'm ready for my meditation. Let's see. Oh, Instagram. Okay. WhatsApp. Oh God, I haven't responded to these emails yet. And that's exactly what you want to avoid. Action step 2, begin using your guiding affirmation first thing in the morning. You can speak your guiding affirmation out loud or within yourself before you even start the meditation. You can, for example, use the guiding affirmation that guides you through the day that you repeat then also multiple times throughout the day. I am healed, or I am abundant, or I'm in a loving relationship. And this can get you in the mood before the meditation. In the mood, you say? No, not that kind of mood. I'm talking about a positive mood that then carries you through the day, just like you repeat your guiding affirmation throughout the day. Action step 3, get out of bed and stand like the new self before you explode in the bathroom. This might happen before the meditation or after the meditation, depending on how many burritos you ate the night before. But when you wake up, stand up in front of your mirror and stand like the abundant self, so that your mind doesn't even have the chance to pull you back into the old self. There's one thing that I've probably done more often than any other human being on planet Earth, and that's to watch the testimonials on Joe Dispenza's official YouTube channel. Because my manifestation journey and my journey with Joe Dispenza started in the year 2020, when I was suffering from severe nerve damage after a surgery. And the medical evidence and all the doctors I consulted said that it's impossible for me to heal. So I had to look for evidence outside of the realm what was considered possible. And I've literally watched thousands of hours of Joe Dispenza's testimonials. This crazy German is telling the truth. He even neglected me because he was so busy watching all these testimonials. Universe, I would never neglect you, but yes, it's true. I used to watch up to 10 Joe Dispenza testimonials a day, many of them multiple times. Now you might be asking yourself why I did that. Well, because I doubted it. I doubted everything. I doubted Joe Dispenza, I doubted manifestation, I doubted spirituality. I mean, I used to be the most anti-spiritual person you can imagine. These were my beliefs back then. Meditation is for weirdos. Chakras don't even exist. All this talk about energy is horse shit. So yes, I went from being that guy to meditating every day, blessing my energy centers, aka chakras, every day, and working with the energy in my body every day. And this took a lot of convincing. And the only form of convincing that my analytical German mind was able to accept was evidence. In his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Joe Dispenza describes how on the quantum level, having an imaginal and mental experience that feels so real as if it already happened is proof of its realness. And yes, that's the wonderful quantum field here. But for my German analytical brain, that was not enough. I wanted to have the scientific proof. I wanted to have the first-hand experience. And this leads us to law number 6. Continue to fill your mind with evidence. And here are the exact action steps I invite you to take to satisfy this hunger for evidence. Action step 1. Fill your mind with as many testimonials as you can find. You can watch the testimonials on Joe Dispenza's official YouTube channel, and of course you can also watch the countless testimonials from people who have completed my 8-week coaching program, the Abundance Reality Shift Coaching Program. So you can go to affirmationtomanifestation.com/abundance, and there you can watch all the testimonials. Because the more you see people who have accomplished what you want to accomplish, the easier it is for you to accept that you can do it too. Action step 2, stay a student of the art of manifesting for the rest of your life. Continue to read books and watch videos and listen to podcast episodes and be open to new concepts and new ideas. I teach the art of manifesting every day, but I'm still as open-minded and as curious as I was years ago when I embarked on this journey. Because remember, we manifest all the time, either consciously or unconsciously. This means that as long as you are in this human form, you are manifesting, if you want it or not. Consciously manifesting abundance is just so much more rewarding than unconsciously manifesting lack. Action step 3, write down any evidence of change that your physical reality reflects. What if the universe sends you a sign or an idea via a direct download? Write it in your journal. What if you don't have a journal? Write it on a piece of paper. What if you don't have a piece of paper? Write it on toilet paper. Are you serious? Yes, I'm serious, because I want you to remind yourself every day of all the signs and synchronicities and all the amazing ideas that you've already received from the field, because it's way too easy to slip back into old patterns to not do this. But what if no signs, no synchronicities, and no direct downloads find you? In his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Joe Dispenza defines greatness as holding on to a vision of the future even if your physical reality doesn't show any evidence of its materialization. It took me more than 9 months to fully heal my body, and me going from $1,000 a month in income to $30,000 a month also didn't happen overnight. I had many dark nights of the soul, many days where I wanted to give up, but I didn't. I meditated again and again and again. I persevered. I held on to my dreams, and now I live them every day. This leads us to the 7th law. Meditate every day, even when nothing is changing. Of course, there might be certain things that you want to adjust. There might be certain things that you're doing wrong, but this is something that we will figure out once we work together. But in general, I want you to remember this. Giving up is not an option, and consistency is the key to transforming your reality. That's why I want you to show up every day, show up for yourself, show up for the universe, and show up for the future that you want to create. Because if you reach the frequency of what you want to manifest every single day, then at some point your physical reality has to reflect your inner transformation. And if you are ready to transform your life by creating more opportunities for abundance, for large sums of money that can flow to you, then I invite you to go to affirmationtomanifestation.com/abundance, or to click on the first link in the description to find out more about my 8-week one-on-one coaching program, the Abundance Reality Shift Coaching Program. Now, do you remember how I mentioned in this video that there was a time when I doubted meditation, manifesting, and yes, even Dr. Joe Dispenza and his teachings? I invite you to watch this video next to find out what exactly happened in my life that turned me into a believer in manifesting and in Joe Dispenza's work.